All right, everybody, we're going to go ahead and get started. Welcome. This is a LinkedIn video messaging live, and we're just going to quickly cover what the best way and to leverage LinkedIn video messaging, why we want to leverage video messaging on LinkedIn, and who it's for. Now, first and foremost, is video messaging on LinkedIn for everybody? The answer, I think, is yes. But you have to ultimately determine who your audience is as a B2B sales professional or an entrepreneur. Every single buyer you have has different social tendencies. And so the higher you go up the food chain in a large organization, say someone on the Fortune 500 list, a certain VP or senior level, C-level executive may or may not be active on LinkedIn. I have some clients who are C-level executives that are very active on LinkedIn, and then others who don't post at all and don't share any information and have limited focus on LinkedIn and don't spend any time there. Somewhat understandable, right, for a busy executive. And so it's just up to them. And so the rule of thumb I have is that you don't know unless you try, and you need to pay attention to your audience on LinkedIn. And really, you're not going to know until you test. That's the big rule of thumb when it comes to anything in sales, is you need to split test and save that data and use the data to make decisions. But if you think too long and hard about it, you probably won't use video messaging on LinkedIn. I would say that the biggest challenge most sales professionals have in using video messaging on LinkedIn is they just don't even try. And it's because they feel awkward. It's awkward being on camera. I can tell you that it's awkward because I'm on camera all the time for my YouTube channel. And I just got used to it over time. And you know what? I'm going to do a quick demo for you today. And you know what? I might even mess up, but that's okay, because over time you'll get better at it. And in fact, the nice benefit about LinkedIn is before you send the message, you can re-record it if you want to. It doesn't just get sent off the minute that you stop recording. So let's jump right into it. A couple quick housekeeping items. Why video messaging? Well, there's really 5 main things that I believe that are the main benefits to video messaging. Number 1, differentiation. So as sales professionals, the biggest problem we have is that our prospects and customers feel generally like all salespeople are the same, no matter what product or service you sell, whether you sell software, uniforms, hardware, IT services, marketing services, whatever SaaS software it is you sell, no matter what it is you sell. There's so many other industries out there. Network marketing, if you're not B2B, it's generally salespeople are considered pushy, that everybody's trying to push their product or service, and that the focus is on the salesperson and their company, that every salesperson is going to say the same thing. They're going to pitch, and most salespeople don't have a lot of information on their prospects, which further exacerbates the issue that most salespeople are generalists because they have no process and they really don't know what they're doing. And so the benefit of LinkedIn video messaging is it's very easy to use, number 1, which I'm going to show you today, but it easily cuts right through all the noise, because most of our competitors aren't using video LinkedIn messaging. So what a great way to differentiate ourselves right out of the gates with all of our prospects. Even if they don't respond, it shows we took a little bit of extra initiative and went a little bit further than our nearest competitor that maybe just sent them a general LinkedIn message. Another reason is obviously it's hyper personalized. So personalization is king when it comes to B2B sales prospecting. And if we are trying to get somebody's attention, right? Attention is the first goal, and then interest when we're prospecting in B2B sales, and really any sales for that matter. And so if we want, in the B2B sales game, if we want to be different, one of the great ways that we can add value and really show our prospect that we're listening and we understand them is by personalizing our message. And video messaging allows us to do that in a totally different way than sending a DM in LinkedIn or sending an email or leaving a voicemail where they just hear our voice. And generally, most voicemails for most salespeople are done improperly. Therefore, they don't get any callbacks. And so the hyper-personalization of LinkedIn video is one of the main takeaways that you should realize about why you should be using it, is that if you want to get more eyeballs on you, your product, your service, and just start building rapport with someone right out of the gates, LinkedIn video is the way to do it. Second thing is video is more memorable. So if we just think about the fact that the sea of salespeople that are messaging our buyers it's huge, right? And if you are someone that holds an executive level title, maybe you're a vice president or a senior director, Maybe if it's at a smaller company, maybe you're the president of the company, maybe you're the chief marketing officer, whatever the title is. Those people are getting hit left and right, and their inbox is full of DMs from people that are just generalists and are just basically spamming them, asking them for an opportunity to meet. And they've done little to no legwork and really show that they're just like everybody else. And so when you send a highly personalized video to someone that you would eventually like to set a meeting with, it shows, number one, again, that you took the time, it differentiates, it's hyper personalized, but because of all those things, because you were probably one of the only salespeople that actually sent a video message, they're gonna remember you. And that is one of the biggest keys to sales, is if you can be memorable for the right reasons, of course, the next time that you interact with that person, again, they're human beings on LinkedIn. They're not robots. We have to treat them like humans. They're going to remember you just the same as when someone sticks out their hand and says, "Hi, I'm Eric Fisher," and they're going to remember me, because a lot of people don't have proper etiquette. And so because of all these things, what it does, which is the hardest part for most salespeople, is it establishes trust immediately. And we know that trust is one of the hardest things for most salespeople to build, because again, everybody's the same. Everybody's trying to push their products and services, talking about us. And we know that our prospects and customers don't want that. They don't like it, but for time and time again, salespeople continue to act that way. And so when we show them that we're going to do a little bit of extra work, we're going to be hyper personalized, we're going to take an extra couple seconds to do something a bit different, it just establishes trust right out of the gates. Now, there's still more legwork to do, but again, it's something you can do that's going to set you apart from all your competitors. So a couple other quick things, some do's and don'ts of LinkedIn video messaging. So some do's. Number one, add value. Okay. That's the whole goal of this. And when we're looking to add value, the point of LinkedIn, just like a lot of the other social platforms, is you want to be thinking about what you can do for someone else, not what they can do for you. And that's something that's often confused. And so the first thing you need to do is you need to send a connection request in order to send a video message on LinkedIn. You have to be a first connection to that person. So that's the first step you need to take, is send a connection request. Now, I've tested, and so have others, many different approaches. Do we need to send a message with our connection request? Do we not need to send a message with our connection request? And what we found is that both work. There's some data that says just sending a blind connection request with no message is superior. I have data that says sending a short, very brief one-sentence message works extremely well, and it engages them right away. The other thing that you want to do is you definitely want to review their LinkedIn profile quickly, and spend, maybe 30 seconds to a minute reviewing something more than where they work. You should know how long they've worked there, which takes no time at all. You should know their background, maybe what college they went to, if they're a member of a fraternity or sorority, maybe they're a member of a Boys and Girls Club or Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, because they have children. Maybe they're a part of some type of foundation that raises money, some type of charity. There's a lot of different ways that have personal touches that you can mention, only if it's real and genuine, that'll allow you to make an even greater connection, where again, most salespeople are going right for the money, and that's really not how people want to be approached on LinkedIn. The other thing is that's something you want to do, is obviously review their LinkedIn and then find something that's personal to them that is just on their main profile. You don't have to look any further than that. It takes no time at all. Second thing is your message, you want to keep it less than 20 seconds long. Again, this is not supposed to be you blah, 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 talking forever on this video. It's supposed to be short, to the point, something personal, just getting their attention right out of the gates. Then it's going to be different, and then you're going to have a follow-up from there. The goal of LinkedIn video messaging is to take it offline as soon as possible, but it is going to require, it's a little bit slower in terms of it's going to require usually a couple additional touches, but the goal is to engage the prospect, and this typically works really well for people that aren't very responsive. As I already mentioned, you want to add value, but at the end of that video, which we're going to talk about, you want to give them a CTA or a hook. Now, what do I mean by this? We're not trying to trick them, but you want to give them something of value, so you can ask them a question about a problem that most people that are in their peer group that are part of your ICP, your ideal customer profile, a problem that many of them have, and that you have some information or something of value that you can share with them, and ask them if they'd like to see it, or if you could share it to them via email. It's a great way to take it off LinkedIn into their corporate email box, and that will give you another chance to engage with them. Possibly, maybe you could say, hey, is there a better time we could talk through it? Obviously, that would mean that you're going to have a meeting with them or over a phone call. And so those are some of the do's. Now, here's some of the don'ts. Do not pitch on video. That is not the purpose of it, and you will do more harm than good. And that's not going to get people to respond to you. It's going to do the exact opposite. It's a detractor. So do not pitch. I'm going to repeat that. Do not pitch on LinkedIn video. Second thing is, I already said this, keep it less than 20 seconds. Don't say too much. The goal here is not to pitch them, do an elevator speech, talk about you. Nobody cares who you are. They don't care anything really about your company. So don't make it about that. And that's how you can keep your message short. Other thing is don't be creepy. So what does creepy mean? Well, if you're going to comment on something personal, keep it very light. You know, the goal here is not to go so deep in terms of digging with a particular individual's profile that it comes across extra creepy, because again, you are trying to conduct business. People know that LinkedIn is supposed to be a business platform. And so you can still make a personal comment or say you noticed something. Maybe they're an author. Maybe they had a popular post that you saw that can show you did a little bit more research on them, but you don't need to take it to a level that's just flat out inappropriate. Obviously that's going to be few and far between, but there are people that will go too far, and that will ruin obviously the entire goal of this, which is to engage more prospects. So those are a couple don'ts. So now we're going to get into just a quick demo. Now I'm going to switch screens here so we can share my phone. And for this demo here, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to message, because you have to be a first degree connection request. I'm actually going to use my brother. Now my brother's a sales professional, but obviously I'm not going to share any of my client profiles. So if I was trying to sell sales training to someone like my brother, which obviously I do have sales training that I offer to B2B sales professionals, which my brother is one, that'd be a great topic. Now you could replace my brother with any other individual out there. It could be someone that is an executive that is on your target list. It could be a manager, it could be a business owner, whoever your target audience is. So the first thing you need to do is obviously you're going to go into their profile, and then we're going to go into message. Okay. So then what we're going to do is over here on the left, we're going to go to message. There's a little paperclip, and on that paperclip, you can see there is send a video. So we're going to click send a video, and then we need to flip this around. Okay. And then on that, there is a little red button here. And what we're going to do is we're going to press that red button. And when we press that red button, it's going to start recording. Now, again, you do get a chance to review the video. If you didn't like it, it was too long, you messed up. Again, you want to keep it human. Nobody's perfect. Again, you're not advertising. Okay. Now I might go back and look. Maybe I was thinking about what I was going to say. I'm going to go back and look and say, okay, where does he work? I'm gonna say, okay, he works at Integrated DNA Technologies. He has primarily worked in life sciences sales, and he's been selling since 2010. So he's got about 11 years now of sales experience. So pretty experienced person, obviously. Yes, I know he's my brother, but I might say, looks like he's been in his new role for looks like 1 year, 1 month, if that's actually where he was still working. And so then I'm going to go and I'm going to say, okay, send a video. I'm going to flip this around here. All right. And then I'm going to just start recording and say, hey, Mark, saw that you've been working at Integrated Technologies for about a year now, and you've got about 11 years of life sciences experience. I actually integrate and work with a lot of life sciences representatives that are in sales, and would love to connect with you. Maybe there's some ideas we could bounce off each other's head, because I actually support other life sciences companies. Also saw that you went to Illinois State University, which is actually where I also went. Thought we had that in common. But anyway, if there's something of value that I could do for you, please let me know, and I'd be happy to send over some information I have around some of the life sciences companies you sell to that might be pertinent for you and help you sell more business to those companies. Thanks a lot for watching this video, and hope to connect with you soon. Okay. So as you can see, I actually did not record this recording now, but that would be my message. And once you get done, as you can see, this is what happens on the video. So you can actually click the little arrow in the blue right-hand corner. It's in a blue circle, and that will send the message off. Now, if you don't like it, you can just hit the X here, and then you can re-record the video. So you don't have to be worried. And that's really all you do. Now, how you could do this really fast is I'm going to go back here. What I would do is I would actually build a list of all the LinkedIn prospects that I wanted to send a message to ahead of time. And then one by one, I would write down just 1 or 2 key facts about them, or you could just do it from your phone. Again, in order to do this, you have to do it from your phone. But the point is you could send out 20 of those really, really quickly by just quickly glancing at their LinkedIn profile, finding a couple key topics, or even better yet, if you knew you were going to spend an hour, I would set a goal. Hey, I'm going to send 20 LinkedIn video messages. I would write down each prospect's name, or whether you type it or write it down, doesn't matter. And then I would have a couple pointers, right? Like where they went to school, how long they've been at their current company, what they're responsible for, and maybe one personal topic that of interest. Maybe it's a post that they shared, or a post that they wrote about that you thought was interesting. Maybe they got nominated for an award and you could point that out. The one key piece of advice I would say just on that topic, if they've won an award, it's nice to say something, but just again, think about what everybody else is going to do. So if everybody else is going to say congratulations on the award, you can mention it, but try to find something else of value to either compliment them on, or say start up some conversation on that's going to be interesting beyond the award, because everybody's going to use that as an entry point. And again, the whole goal here is not to be like everybody else. You don't want to be vanilla. So we don't want to do what everybody else is doing. We need to be a little bit different. And so show that you actually tried and didn't just go for the easy way out, which is I have a particular customer that just got an award, and everybody and their mother is commenting on his LinkedIn profile. And it's just, I can see people, they're going for blood. That's like, oh, congratulations, congratulations, congratulations. Hey, please send me a message when you have time. Would love to connect with you. You know, he's getting a ton of connection requests from people he doesn't even know. And it's great for him because now he's got a bigger network, which I think was already expansive. But if you're a sales professional trying to get this person's time, he's going to be like, it's very obvious this person's just trying to congratulate me in order to get some of my time, which is his most valuable resource or asset that he has. Instead, maybe again, compliment him and then find something else that's a little bit deeper, maybe an actual post that took you an extra minute to read, and you can comment on that on your video. So that's the topic though, that's the advice I have on that. Lastly though, again, make your list of 20 names or 30 names. Write down a couple things about them, like I said, and then one by one, search their name. Again, if you have to think about this ahead of time. You have to be connection request, first degree connections with all these people. So if you haven't done that yet, then do that first. Get them to, and again, if you build in a cadence where you're doing this every single day or a couple times a week, you're always going to have new connection requests coming through, and this becomes really easy. Again, if everybody's heard the phrase, failing to prepare is preparing to fail. That's exactly what it is, right? If you're going to take prospecting to the next level, then you need to actually think ahead about what you're going to do. And so the point here is that make that list after you've been sending those first degree connection requests, and then go one by one, knock out those 20 video messages. It's super easy, takes, maybe an hour of your time, if not less. And it's a super fast way to differentiate yourself, be hyper personalized, and do it even faster than you can probably type. And again, this isn't the only way. Another really cool way that I'll just show you on here is I will actually show you can actually do what's also called an audio recording, which is another great way. So if you wanted to try this, you could go here, and then we're over, you don't even need to hit it, over on the right hand side, there's a little microphone next to the write a message. And I could just hold it down and start speaking my message into whoever the prospect is, in this case, my brother. Same exact message I would leave on a video, and that's it. And then you can send it just like you would the video. So that's another way that I've had a lot of success. Other than sending LinkedIn DMs, you're sending a DM with either video, or if you want to mix it up, just try audio. So hopefully those are some great tips for you guys. Most people, again, are not using LinkedIn video because they're afraid. That's the real reason they're not using it. And then the second reason is they don't know what to say. They don't know how long their message should be. Again, prepare in advance, get those connection requests out there, keep it personal, but not too personal. Offer something of value to the other person, and then that's your hook. Don't ask them for something on that video, because if you do that, you're not going to have great success. And again, the last thing I would tell you, no matter what I tell you or anyone else tells you, you need to test and test some more, and you have to have enough data, which means you have to have enough repetitions, and you have to go through video messaging enough times and actually test out what your message is, what works and what doesn't. And again, that's why you need to A/B test or split test to determine what the best route is for you, for your audience, for your product or service. and for your audience based on the level of person they are in an organization. Again, it might work really well for senior manager, director level folks, but it might work awful for executives or vice versa. You're never gonna know unless you try. So get out there, try LinkedIn video messaging, try LinkedIn audio messaging, differentiate yourself, sell smarter, and sell more.